This is the third video in a series on mosaic knitting. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to work mosaic knitting with part of the pattern worked in stockinette and part worked in garter stitch. If you want to see how to work mosaic knitting with all garter stitch, see the first video. And if you want to see it worked all in stockinette, see the second video. I'll be comparing them at the end of this video again. So here's the little stitch pattern that we're going to work. And video 1 shows how to read a mosaic chart. We're going to assume that you already know how to read a mosaic chart for this video. I've done my base white rows here, and I've done row 1 that corresponds to row 1 right here of the dark color. So because we're going to work part of the swatch in garter stitch and part in stockinette, I've chosen to do the dark color in the garter stitch and the light color in stockinette. You can choose either one, it's personal preference, but that's how I'm demonstrating for this video. So we've worked the first row across, and because we're going to do the dark yarn and garter stitch on the return row, we are going to knit those stitches. And we will just knit them as they present themselves on the needle in the same order, because row 2 is the same sequence as row 1 in reverse order. When we slip the stitch, we bring the yarn to the front, slip the stitch, and then we're going to knit these stitches. As they present themselves, we don't even have to count because we just know we're going to knit those red stitches as they pop up. We'll slip the white ones with the yarn held to the front because we're on a wrong side row. Go back to the front and knit these stitches. So we're creating a garter row right now, knitting the right side and the wrong side. And then we're going to slip this one and knit the last stitch. Now we're going to turn our work and we're going to change colors. Now we're going to the light color. So we bring the dark color to the front, the light color to the back. They are not being twisted at the edge. And now we're going to work row 3. Row 3 says 2 light, 1, slip the dark, work 5, slip 1, work 3, slip 1, etc. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to knit the first 2. We're going to slip 1 with the yarn held to the back, and we're going to knit 5. We're going to slip 1, knit 3, whoops, that one's being stubborn, slip 1, knit 5, slip 1, and knit 2. Now, because we have decided that we're going to work the light color in stockinette rather than in garter stitch like the dark color, we're going to turn our work and we're going to follow the same sequence of the colors that are on the needle for the wrong side row, but we're going to purl them. So we're going to purl 2, slip 1, purl 5, slip 1, purl 3, slip 1, purl 5, slip 1, and purl the last 2. And we would continue that same sequence of knitting the light color and then purling it, and on the dark color we would knit both rows. So what we get is the garter ridge in the color and stockinette in the background stitch. This is what that looks like when the whole swatch is worked. I really like it. It gives a three-dimensional Very interesting fabric. So let's compare that with the other two. This is the one worked with the dark color in garter stitch and the background in stockinette. This is with every row worked in garter stitch. And this is the swatch where you're going to work the entire swatch in stockinette. So we've got them like this. You can look at them like this. See the differences in the fabrics. Mosaic knitting is really fun. I'm going to have some more videos on doing shaping and other things with mosaic knitting. If you want to follow along, you can subscribe to my channel. Be sure to share my videos with your friends, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Happy knitting!